Hi guys, Adam Tanner here from fitnessforlife365.com, and in this video I will tell you exactly why Conor McGregor hasn't been fighting. He's not ducking anyone. Let's just start by saying that Conor never ducked anyone. And I'm gonna address the Frankie Edgar in a separate video, but right now let's just talk why he's not fighting. And it's so simple. Khabib fucked up. When Khabib missed weight, that was the fight to make. Conor versus Khabib. Right now, there is really no fight for Conor. And if he actually, because Dana White said that he did ask to fight Frankie. Now that's a fight to make. Trust me when I say this. If Conor fought Frankie, there is way more money in it than him fighting Ferguson. There's no money in him fighting Ferguson. It's like Conor's first pay-per-view was 0.9 million. His second was 1.4 against Aldo. Third 1.6 against Nate. And fourth 1.65 against Nate. Then he fought a guy with no star power, Eddie Alvarez. Do you guys remember the pay-per-view for that? 1.3. That's awful. That's awful. That's exactly what was going to happen if he fought Ferguson. Casual MMA fans probably know who Ferguson is, but they definitely know Khabib is. Die-hard MMA fan, of course, know who Ferguson is, but trust me, it's not gonna make money. It doesn't make any sense. Conor put himself in the position that he deserves that person that's gonna elevate the fight to make that much money. He deserves that. Ferguson is not gonna do that. And plus, to be honest, like, he's an amazing fighter, but like, watch most of his interviews. He makes a lot of people cringe, which is a really bad thing, because Conor needs the person with him to at least bring in a little bit of attention. Khabib was the fight to make, and I don't doubt it in my mind. If Khabib had made weight and got the interim title, we would have seen by now Khabib versus McGregor. And I think if Khabib wins, that's the fight that's going to happen. If Khabib accepts it, because Khabib said that he's not going to fight Conor, he should get a few wins first. I don't know if he's going to do that or not, but Ali, his manager that called Conor McGregor a prostitute, he's the real one, by the way, and he's going to make Khabib fight him to get the money. For him, not for Khabib. Khabib doesn't care about the money, but Ali, you sure do, because you just screwed up one of your clients. Can't stand you, by the way. Really. Don't go calling someone like Conor McGregor a prostitute. Especially look what you do to begin with. And by the way, didn't someone wrote like a really lengthy article about you, saying that you're kind of, you know, wanted at a certain point, or got arrested for a fake passport or something like that? Please just keep managing your fighters and stop challenging MMA fighters. And you also challenge Kavanagh, right? Kavanagh has a way better MMA record than you, 1-3, with your weak ass judo background. Just sit down. Oh, and on his website, because this guy's really annoying me now. His website saying on his free time he rolls around with his clients. You roll around with Frankie Edgar? Maybe Khabib? Maybe Rashad Evans? You're not fooling anyone. Anyways, so if Ferguson wins this fight, I believe it will probably Conor would fight someone like Nate Diaz. Again, I just don't see him taking that step and fighting someone that's not gonna generate that much money. And he did do it the hard way. Conor done it the hard way, and this is the part here. If you hate Conor, or if you love him, it doesn't matter, but after all, I'm gonna say you should really, really respect him. He earned his way. Like everyone's saying, he fought unranked Dennis Siver to get a title shot. The UFC is protecting him by putting him with strikers. All not true. There's nothing about this that is true. Conor McGregor, first of all, broke most of the records in the UFC. Fastest knockout in a title fight against the greatest featherweight of all time, the undefeated featherweight, the only featherweight champion. That's one. 4 out of his first 8 opponents backed out a week or 2 before the fights and were replaced. And yet he took the fight and won, except for the Nate Diaz first fight. Every single fight he fought was either a fight of the night, performance of the night, or knockout of the night, except for one fight, and that was against Max Holloway, who's the current champion. Max wasn't as good back then, but so Conor wasn't as good as well back then. Conor also tore his ACL in that fight, and yet he won 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26. I don't understand how a guy like that you can't respect. Look what he did to Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez was the rightful lightweight champion. Look what he did to him. He was willing to fight RDA. RDA, look at what RDA is doing at the welterweight division. He doesn't care. Plus, when Conor, I think that was 3 years ago, when they were telling him, after you win the featherweight, because he always planned to win the featherweight, fight for the lightweight, and stay at lightweight. They asked him, who do you think would have the lightweight title? And he said Khabib. So Conor was planning to fight Khabib 3 years ago. I mean, it's his fault. He was 6-0 before he fought Aldo. He did not beat. And by the way, Dennis Siver was not unranked. Dennis Siver was ranked number 10. And before the Dennis Siver, he fought Dustin Poirier and knocked him out in the first round, who was ranked number 5. He was 6-0 before he fought Aldo. And he fought Chad Mendes, who was ranked number 1, who's by far the best wrestler in the featherweight division. Anything Conor does, everyone is going to put excuses because they're jealous of his success. Frankie Edgar and Chad Mendes could have fought him at 189. Everyone's saying he's ducking Frankie. Frankie was ranked number 2. Chad Mendes was ranked number 1. Frankie's manager said that Chad was coming off a loss. That's not true. Frankie was coming off a first round knockout to Ricardo Lamas, who was ranked number 4 at the time. Top ranked featherweight, that he knocked him out in the first round. At that point, Frankie, I think, was Mendes was 17-2, only lost 2 fights to Jose Aldo. One of them was recent, which was a very, very close decision that a lot of people thought Mendes won. Aldo won that fight, but that's not the point. The point is, Frankie, on the other hand, came off a unanimous decision win, very dominant, but to a bantamweight. Not a guy who's even ranked in the featherweight division. He was 4-0 in the featherweight, and he was already lost to Aldo, and he had 3 losses in a row, won 4 fights in the featherweight. He wasn't the number 1 guy, and even if Conor beat him, I mean, he's not even beating number 1 guy. He's beating number 2 guy. He took the number 1 guy. People saying Mendes came off the couch. No, he didn't. There's not a single MMA fighter who sits on the couch. And that was, I think the fight between McGregor and Mendes was 3 months apart between Mendes and Ricardo Lamas. However, if Frankie fought Conor, it would have been like a month or 2 turnaround. So if actually Conor fought Frankie, everyone would say, oh, he avoided the better wrestler. He avoided the guy that had more time to rest between fights. He avoided the guy that's ranked number 1. He avoided the guy that just fought for the title. And by the way, Chad Mendes was tied to fight Conor since UFC 178. I think it was something like that, or even before that. So a year before they fought, their names were together. And there's this comment where there's this famous, one of the funniest moments in the video's funniest moments in MMA. It's always in that video, which Chad Mendes was talking to Conor McGregor over Skype when he was on a TV show, and he goes like, do you know wrestling? Do you know what wrestling is? And Conor responded, I can rest my balls in your forehead, or something like that. And that was a year before they fought. The first time Frankie's name was mentioned with Conor was at UFC 189. Mendes was already mentioned before that. Higher ranked, better wrestler. There's just, I don't understand how Conor ducked him. He took the better fight. He took the best option he had. He took the toughest fight. Now, because Ali said that Conor ducked him 3 times, 3 different occasions. And Mark Henry said that as well, which is also not true. Because the second time they were meant to fight was when RDA pulled out. When RDA pulled out after Conor beat Aldo, that was the fight right after it. What happened? They called Aldo to replace RDA. Aldo said no. Second person they called was Frankie Edgar. That's the first time the fight was actually offered to Frankie. Frankie turned it down. He was injured. I do understand. I love Frank. He's one of my favorite fighters. Despite his loss, he's still one of my favorite fighters. But you're injured. It's a part of the sport, okay? He did not dock you. You're the one who turned down the fight. It's simple as that. When else was he meant to fight Frankie? When the thing is, the third time they were meant to fight, and Conor wanted that fight. Conor wanted that fight. Frankie fought Aldo at UFC 200. Trust me, if Frankie won, there was a chance that Conor would have fought him. There was a chance. I'm not saying he would have, but there was a chance he would have fought him. But what did you do? You lost. You lost your chance to fight him. I'm sorry, but like the three times, first time you were not qualified enough to fight him because Mendes was definitely the better option. Second time, you were injured, turned down the fight. Third time, you didn't win. Like, you didn't win. And the second you lost, that's it. You went down from the title. Look, you lost, what, 3 title fights in a row? Was it 3? Actually, 4 title fights in a row. Because you lost your title, you got a rematch, lost that one, lost against Aldo for the title, and then lost against Aldo a couple of years later for the title. 4 title shots in a row. Conor wasn't ducking him. I don't understand that when people saying like Conor is ducking. Conor never ducked him. I think Conor wanted to fight him. And by the way, when now because everyone is saying, oh, Frankie's never been finished. Frankie would never be finished. I remember said that Frankie, I know Aldo could never finish Frankie. But I never said Frankie could never be finished. I think Conor beats him. And especially after the Brian Ortega fight, Conor definitely beat him. If Ortega knocked you out, Conor knocks you out. It's not even on the same level. Ortega's an amazing fighter, by the way. I just don't talk about the kid too much because he tested positive, and I'm not really sure what happened. I didn't read too much about it. And I don't usually support fighters who test positive. You wouldn't hear me like saying when I'm asked the greatest of all time, I would usually go with GSP, not John Jones or Anderson Silva, because these guys that repeatedly test positive. I mean, we all see when people test positive what they do. Like Vitor almost blinded Michael Bisping. He almost took his sight out with that kick when he was on TRT. So yeah, I think Conor beats. I also think he beats Ferguson. I really do. I think the toughest, and also this is the issue. Conor always takes the toughest fight. Like, look at who he fought the entire time. He always picks the toughest challenge. When did he ever not pick the toughest challenge? Jose Aldo? Probably the toughest challenge that there was. This is what he won. He worked for that. He won 6 fights before he gets his hand on Jose Aldo. Then he went with the lightweight champion. Nate Diaz, do you think... What about the rematch with Nate? Let's say he underestimated Nate the first time. What about the rematch with Nate Diaz? Conor never ducked anyone. Let's just be fair. I hate the fact that he held the division for that long, but he did not duck anyone. And the most important thing here, when I made the video about Conor versus Nate, and I said that Conor is gonna win, these videos are still on, and it's on this channel if you wanna go check it. Everyone went off at me when UFC 200 got cancelled, and they said that Conor is running away and he's never gonna fight him. Everyone thought that. No, he did fight him. And he did win. And if they fought again, he's gonna win again. And Nate is his toughest matchup. Nate could be a tougher matchup than Khabib, but Khabib is definitely have the higher chance of beating him. I got a question: is Mendes a better wrestler than Khabib? and the reason why you want to know if Khabib can take him as easy as Mendes. The thing is, Conor before the fight was saying, Mendes, you can take me down, it doesn't matter, you're not gonna hurt me, which is true. Conor was taken down, he was very comfortable on the ground. Conor didn't mind getting taken down by Mendes. Conor would definitely mind getting taken down by Khabib. I think Khabib is definitely overall the better wrestler, but Mendes is way better at taking people down and has a better takedown defense than Khabib, which is not going to help him here when it comes to McGregor, because he's not going to shoot on them anyway. So what I'm saying is Chad Mendes definitely better at taking people down, but he's not a better wrestler, because that's all. He's not going to hurt Conor on the ground. It's just this is where he stops. He can take people down better than Khabib, but Khabib keeps people down. The second you get down with Khabib, you realize how powerless you are. Everyone looks so helpless when Khabib takes them down. They're like, please get me out of here. What the hell is happening? Even in his sparring videos with Luke Rockhold, when he gets a hold of Luke, you kind of look at Luke's face as like, he's struggling. It should be a walk in the park when it's a middleweight and a lightweight, but he's really struggling. Also, Khabib in Sambo, he competed at 84 kilos. 84 kilos, that's as heavy as a middleweight, I think. I'm not really positive about that one, but I think so. I think it's as heavy as a middleweight. 185 in kilograms. 84 kilos, there you go. So he actually competed in Sambo at middleweight. That's very impressive. He's a completely different level of fighter. But I truly believe when Khabib wins, a McGregor fight will be up there unless Floyd comes in. Unless Floyd names comes in, because that's way bigger money fight. Unless a GSP comes in. This is the thing. Conor is going to fight the biggest money fight. And right now, because GSP is not available, Nate Diaz, no one knows what's happening with him, to be honest. The fight to make him the most money is Khabib. So yes, if Khabib wins, I can bet anything that's the fight that's gonna happen. Unless he's never gonna fight again, but I think he will. So why did Conor say that he wanted to fight Frankie 2 days or 3 days before the fight? I don't know. It was really recent before the fight when he said, I offered to fight Frankie and the UFC turned it down because there's not enough money, enough time to make money out of the fight, whatever it was. If you recall, Dana White had an interview with TMZ the day Conor McGregor posted that, and he said, I'm not going to be surprised if Conor never fights again. So he responded and said, I definitely going to fight again. I'm the best at what I do. I actually offered to jump in and fight Frankie. And to be honest, he tweeted something after that saying that Frankie deserved to go out against him. This noise is really annoying. But he definitely did. And Ali, you are just... Frankie should have sat down. Frankie should have sat down and waited for Max Holloway. Or fought McGregor. If he actually were... If that fight, hypothetically, if that fight ever happened and Conor knocked him out in the first round, who was the guy that's gonna fight Holloway for the title? Frankie Edgar. Who else? Jose Aldo? Lost to him twice in a row. Got knocked out in 13 seconds. Lost 3 of his last 4 fights. He's never getting that title shot. What other names? Ricardo Lamas? Lost to Max Holloway before, just got knocked out. Cold. Cub Swanson? No. Why? Already lost to Holloway before, and just been finished by Brian Ortega. If Frankie waited, he would have fought Max Holloway. If Frankie fought McGregor, which Dana said the fight wasn't close, but I don't know why, and I don't care, but if he did, he would have still got the Max Holloway fight. Because there is no other name there. And if you guys saying he got knocked out in the first round, how can he get a title fight? First of all, he will get knocked out by McGregor, who knocked out the greatest featherweight in 13 seconds, who also beat Max Holloway, the current champion, So it's not going to kind of ruin it, really. It's not going to ruin his ranking. It's not going to do anything to him. And he deserves that money for. Like Frankie, if you're talking about Frankie, is one of the greatest fighters to ever live. This guy was fighting at lightweight when he was probably the smallest lightweight ever. I don't think there was any small lightweight than Frankie Edgar, and he was a champion. His fights with Gray Maynard or BJ Penn, he's just a phenomenal athlete, right? And I'm sad. I'm really sad that Frankie lost to Ortega. Like, congratulations to Ortega and everything, but Conor's right. He deserved to go out to McGregor. He would have made the money he always wanted, because he knows his time is numbered in this sport. He always say that, and he always looking for the money here. That's why he fights a lot. But I'm sorry. He should have. I think the UFC at least should have made that fight happen. There would be a lot of backlash from people saying he's ducking the lightweight division. Say whatever you want. We've seen his fight in the lightweight division against Edgar. Against they're both teammates anyway. Eddie Alvarez, 1.3 million after he became the biggest star in the world. After 1.4, 1.6, 1.65, 1.3 million, and for the title. To do the thing that's never been done before, which is someone to win 2 titles in a row, to be a current champion and win another championship in a different weight division. This fight against Khabib, or against even Edgar, against Khabib, Edgar, Nate, GSP, easy over 2 million, easy over 2 million. I'm sorry, the guy earned his place. I mean, he got paid 100 million against Floyd Mayweather. Or maybe over that, maybe way more than that, especially because of the sponsors and everything else that came with the fight. Look at Tony Ferguson's like Instagram. Look how many people are following this guy. Khabib has like 3 million people following him, or more than that. Tony has like 300,000. I'm sorry, I'm not like saying anything, but like, Conor won performance of the night. This is something that kind of attracts people to you, right? He finishes people most of the time. That's what attracts people to him. Taking the Nate Diaz rematch, that was having 4 people back out his fight, and he takes 4 fights on short notice. That's what does it. Stepping up and fighting Floyd Mayweather. It keeps going on and on. He built his fan base. UFC did not help him. How did they help him? From his first fight, he had a huge number of fans there. He's just, he just have really great star power. Someone like Darren Till as well. You know, I'm just saying, guys, take it easy on Conor, because he really is an amazing MMA fighter. And I would really love to see Conor versus Khabib. That will be the most amazing fight. And there's one thing to be mentioned about Khabib and Conor. Conor ground game is insanely underrated, and Khabib's stand-up game is insanely underrated. The reason for that is that Conor stand-up game is above the charts. There is no one in the UFC that comes in lightweight, featherweight, that comes close to his stand-up game, and this is why his ground game looks weak. He's not bad at all. He's really good. When it comes to Khabib as well, his wrestling game is no comparison. I mean, the second best wrestler, like, no comparison with anyone. He's just, and this is what makes his striking looks really bad. It's not that bad. I think he can outstrike a lot of people in the lightweight division. Even if it's just striking, I think he can. I'm not saying he's a top-level striker. I'm not saying Conor McGregor is a top-level grappler either, but I'm just saying it's insanely underrated. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And when it comes to the Colby Covington, I'm not forgetting that, but he's been going off way too much that I still need to make a whole video just dedicated to, you know, him. So yeah, enjoy your day.